All right, I think we're going to be going live here in a second. Good afternoon, all of our Facebook friends. Welcome to another Team Talk Tuesday with TLC. I am coming to you live from Cyrus Green over here in East Tampa. Cyrus Green is one of our most popular parks, especially for our TLC and our stay and play program. So we are here tonight. Obviously, I've got some of my friends with me on Zoom here. We have Coach Hayden from Forest Hills, Camilla's representing Forest Hills, and my guy Dwayne is representing Spring Hill here. And I'm also here, I'm going to share my screen here. We have a very special guest who's going to share a few minutes here with us tonight, along with a few of our other friends here from Cyrus Green. Again, I'm Coach Jamal from the Jackson Heights NFL Yet Center. I'll be your host here tonight. But again, we have a very, very special guest who's here with us tonight, along with a large group. I'm going to share my screen, turn my screen around, and you'll see our special guest who's going to introduce herself. I don't think she needs an introduction. But you'll also see a lot of our friends here from Cyrus Green who are coming in tonight to spend a few minutes with our special guest. So without further ado, our special guest tonight is Fire Chief Barbara Tripp. She's here with us tonight. She took some time out of her busy schedule to join us here tonight. Our topic tonight is teen influences and influencers. So what better way to share and have dialogue about influencers than to have a real influencer in the building with our teens, sharing and having dialogue. So without further ado, Chief Tripp, the floor is yours to introduce yourself, not only to our teens here, but to our Facebook Live viewers.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Barbara Tripp. I am currently the Fire Chief for Tampa Fire Rescue. Glad to be here to speak with you all, and of course, to be on Facebook Live. I want to tell you a little bit about what I do and just talk about my career path. If you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer any questions. So I've been with the City of Tampa now for 23 years and towards the fire department, but I've been in the fire service for 27 years. I started off at Hillsborough County and changed agencies 20 years ago. This August will be 24 years since I've been with the City of Tampa. So if you want to know how the fire service works, of course, we work 1 day on, 2 days off. Every 3 weeks, we get 5 days off. 24-hour shift. Okay. What do we do? Everything. I'm quite sure some of you guys have used the 911 system before, or maybe family members have used the 911 system. Just tell you a little bit about the training we do. It's about a 6-month class academy that you go to, 2 days a week, 1 day on the weekend. You learn all the different basic stuff about hospital, about firefighting, about safety. Once you finish, you will graduate, get your certificate, and of course, you can get a job with any department within the state of Florida. The certificate we get come out of Tallahassee, and basically, you're certified by the state of Florida. Okay? Just tell you about the school, you end up going to PMT, which is first medical technician, which is just a basic medical treatment, and then you go advanced life training. That's what paramedics come in at. Become a paramedic, you just be hospital. And like I say, you have someone lives in your hand, so you may do some advanced treatment when it comes to giving medication, starting IVs, breathing for someone, up on the chest. So it's just a combination of stuff. Tell you a little bit more about the school, or tell you a little bit more about me. I went into the military prior to getting into the fire service because I didn't know what the firefighter was. When someone asked me, hey, why don't you get to the fire service? My first impression was like, yeah, it's too hot in Tampa to put out fires. Because once again, I'm thinking it's a 40-hour work week, every job is 40 hours. Okay, 40 hours, just put out fire. Like, it's too hot in Tampa. But once I got educated about the fact of what the fire service does, of course, I said, sign me up. Went into the military, came out, went into the fire service, and I love it. It's all about helping. It's all about being compassion, having empathy for people, and just serving the community. Looked more education about me after going to paramedic school. I just felt like I wanted to learn more about the body. I have one life school in my nursing life. I am a registered nurse. I've been employed So it's just a lot of different avenues that you can move in the art. Start with the question, and I'll just get more into it.
Okay. Hello, I'm Charlotte Jackson. My question to you is, what made you want to become a chief in firefighter?
Well, actually, my first City of Tampa is 126 years old. Okay, so throughout knowing about the history of the City of Tampa and the fire department, we didn't have many females. So once I got into the fire profession, I came on 23 years ago. There's only 3 females on the job. Okay, well, 3 Afro-American females. It was total about 20 females total. Okay, so as far as the ranking and climbing up the ladder and just challenging yourself to be in different positions of I can say, authority, I wanted to be a captain. So Tripp as a firefighter, you were a driver, he was a lieutenant and captain. So no female, African female ever been a captain. So I said, you know what, that's where I want to go. So of course I challenged myself, went to school, studied, took tests, and became a captain. I never thought I'd become a fire chief, but after hitting that point, that goal, I said, okay, what's the next step? So I just continued, became a district chief, and a rescue chief, and now in position of being fire chief. So. I do. Challenge yourself. Don't settle for nothing less. Life is what you make it. You have to call for you love. That's one of the things. A lot of times, and just to tell you about my history, I grew up here in Tampa, of course. Cyrus Springs is a part that I used to come to many, many years ago. I grew up on the other side of Wilmington. My parents only had a 6th grade education. Never thought, with my history, my family history, that I would be able to pursue any kind of dream. Because you think, with for financial, but life is what you make it. So you can't let your what I say, family history stop you from achieving goals. My parents did what they had to do to get where they are, but they continue to push us to go to school, stay educated, be something, be somebody. They couldn't go to school because, like in the 30s and 40s, they had to work to try to take care of the family. So the biggest advice I can tell you is to challenge yourself. If you see or you dream of a goal, push yourself. It's not going to be easy. Anything in life will happen. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to work for it. So don't try to take the easy route out, because if you take the easy route, then of course you're not going to be successful.
What are some of the obstacles you had to go through to get to where you were?
What are some of the obstacles? So first of all, being female in a predominant male field, you have to challenge the males. Okay. Being in the field predominantly male, a lot of males think females can't do the job, so we're just as successful as they are. Being a firefighter, we have to fill holes. We have to do the work of the male. So you just train yourself to do those same skills. Some of the challenge I had to face was because I was a male, and because I was a female. So I kind of overcome those ones. Being an Afro-American versus Caucasian, I had to overcome those obstacles. And putting yourself in positions when I say education, training, if you have the training, the knowledge, the education that's the next person, now you're, when I say you're tied, that's what's competition to get into that next position. So it's a lot of obstacles out there, whether it's with the fire service or any other career. You have to put yourself in position for success. And you can't not allow a lot of other distractions to stop you from becoming successful. So you have to overcome those. So whatever you can present with those obstacles, you have to overcome those obstacles, face them, challenge them, and just have the courage to push yourself. I am. I'm actually very proud of the accomplishments I've made so far. Once again, I challenged myself, but like I say, I did not realize. I don't use the word I found myself, but I didn't have to ever become a part. Because when you look doctors. They started off as kids. And they go all the way up. So they, yes, I did. And when you say quit, I felt like maybe this is not for me. And when I say this is not for me, it's like what adversary that I was approached with to make me say that this is not for me. And you get tired of competing all the time. So when I got that point, what I did, I just took a different direction. Because it's just like going to a door and that door is closed. No matter how much you try, it's not open. Until you get frustrated. I've learned that door is solid. I can't go through. I just take a, I go to the right or the left. And needless to say, I come back to that habit. You know, that's one thing that I've learned about succeeding. You know, a lot of times we want to do things, but and I have a lot of faith in God. We want to do things, but He's not ready for us to do that. And so we get upset about it. Oh no, I should do this. This is where I want to go, but not knowing that this path to the right is the direction He really wants you to go. So sometimes when you get to that point, when you get frustrated, you want to quit. Don't quit, because winners never quit, and quitters never win. So if you quit, then you never know what that other door is like. That other door could be that winning door that will take right to that path.
That was a good question. Chief, we have a couple questions from our Facebook audience, if you don't mind, really quick. One of the questions from our Facebook group is, are there any programs available for kids who are interested in becoming a firefighter?
Yes, they are programs available. Currently, Jefferson, I think, still have the firefighting program. If not, we have different programs when you graduate. We have explore programs for teenagers. The ages between 13 and 17 that they can get involved with now. It's every Tuesday night at our training grounds, which is on 34th and Navajo Drive. They come in, the coordinators teach them about firefighting. They learn some basic paramilitary, items that the firefighters go through. So that's every Tuesday, and if anybody's interested, I can give them some information.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. And then one more question, because we have our Zoom group is here. We usually do our Teen Talk live, and we're going to get to our discussion here in a second. But one of the questions we had for our teen group tonight was, give us a non-relative who positively impacted your life. So most people say mom, dad, granddad, grandma. But if you can put a little thought into a non-relative who really influenced you when you started your career, not necessarily it with the fire department, but just in general, as a young person, high school, college, that one person, non-relative who really, really influenced your life in a positive way.
So I have a couple. So as I think about, going through different obstacles, and of course, these last few years, Obama has been a big inspiration because he was put in a position which I could sympathize with him of having different challenges from all different angles. He wasn't born in the U.S. Just everything he tried to write, they tried to put the negative mark on it. Every time he tried to take the world, 5 steps higher, someone tried to knock it down 10 steps. And I feel that with a lot of things that I have done throughout my whole career, the more I try to go to positive routes, you be addressed with, individuals or situations that try to put me down, but he kept pushing. And that's one of the reasons why I'm sitting here today, because I kept pushing. So the times that I felt like I wanted to give up because of so much adversary, I just kept going. And of course, it seemed like a bright fate, so just keep going through. So he was one. And I'm one of those persons a lot of times, change your words, change your life. And Maya Angelou, been a poet, a lot of words that she said about her life, about her life has actually influenced me into moving positive, in a positive direction. They forget what you said you did, they'll never forget how you make them feel. That goes along with fire service and stuff, those are part of the two that's non-family or related that inspired me in a lot of my career.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you sharing. Any other questions from any of our young people? Now's the time. If you've got questions, you might not ever get a chance to talk directly to the fire chief, so you got to shoot your shot tonight.
What is it like? It's fun. So, well, when I say it's fun, it's enjoyable. So we come in the morning, 7:30, and we have, just like you guys have chores at home, we have certain chores, depends on the position that we're in, whether you're firefighter, driver, captain, or the rest of the you have different chores you have. So sit down, we determine what we're going to eat for the day, what's the plan, we have to go to training. If the tones go off, have less than 2 minutes into the truck and go respond. If we don't have a call, we're in the station. So everything that you have at your home is actually at the fire station. So we have beds, we have computers, we have refrigerators, we have stoves, we have games, we have basketball courts, we have workout equipment, pretty much everything. But you're just there for the phone. So while you're there, you do certain things, you train. You know, like I said, I went to school in between my spare time. You pretty much do whatever. But when it's on call, you have to respond to the call. Have to finish the call, you come back, you know, it's like the call is, it's a fire, you come back in the shower. You know, that's the only thing you have to be careful with the shower and get out of the shower. That is how it is. So you just let your crew know, taking the shower, so the tones fall. You know, you hear the tones and just put your clothes on real quick and jump on the phone. You have to complete like 10 people plus practice. You know, 2 minutes, it seems like not long, but it's really long. It's long. It's long. You know, so as soon as the tones go off, you know, see if we're in bed, you know, nighttime, the tones go off, like time to get up, the shoes goes on, you're on the truck. It's not, you know, of course, as long as you don't stop by the refrigerator and grab some snacks, you know, things goes to the truck, you know. But you get dressed and go straight to the truck, because all your equipment is on the truck. You know. That's your gear, you know, what you're supposed to do.
Piggybacking on his question, you work one 24-hour shift and then you're off 3 days, 2 days. So you actually work how many days a month? 9 days. 9 days.
You see how everybody's face just lit up when they said 9 days a month. My eyes lit up a little bit. I might be thinking about the fire department.
So what really got me when I, like I said, when I went into the military and came home, another firefighter, it's actually 6 firefighters on the street that I grew up with in East Tampa, 6 of us. We went to a funeral and another firefighter, one of the neighbors, he says, Barbara, you want to get on the fire department? I was like, they already tried, it's too hot, you know. He said, we only work 9 days a month. I'm like, what? You know, so he started telling me, but no one never told me 1 day on, 2 days off. You know, so no work 9 days. You have a lot of, I don't like free time, but you do have a lot of free time. That's why I was able to work at Tampa. So we have a lot of guys that have their own business, side jobs, and, you know,
One more question for you, real chief, from Facebook. Someone is asking, can you still be a firefighter if you have asthma?
yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can be a firefighter. When you go through the training, it all depends on how severe you actually have to get like a medical clearance. And if you get that medical clearance, you can do the training. And you can go.
Thank you. Well, we definitely appreciate your time tonight, Chief. Chief, we know you are a very busy young lady. Thank you and your crew for keeping the city safe. We definitely wish you all much success, and we definitely appreciate everything you all do for the city at Tampa Fire Department.
You're welcome, and like I said, if I can be of any assistance, you know, feel free to let me know. I'm more than happy to come out and answer questions. If you all ever want to stop by the fire station, I'm downtown at Station 1, called the Big House, because it's our administrative office home with a lot of apparatus. anyone in this residence or program. Some of the other privileges that we have as well, we provide local services to a lot of venues. So just like Abbey Arena, David James Stadium, so we provide medical service there. So that's another positive thing of the firefighter that involved in that Super Bowl, the gas boat parade, any of the events that goes in the city of Tampa, we provide the medical coverage for. That's a positive thing.
That means you get to get in the Super Bowl for free, in the Bucks games, and the Lightning games, and the Rays games. Well, not necessarily Rays, but Bucks, Lightning, Gasparilla front row seats, all that good stuff.
Well, they're working, so.
Right. But you're still in the building, though. Right, because the Super Bowl ticket is expensive, but if I have to work it, I still get to watch the game, right? There you go.
Yeah, I was there. I was there.
Absolutely. There you go. Perks of the job. That's what they call it. Yeah. Well, again, we thank you, Chief. We thank you for spending a few minutes with us, and thank this young, attentive group here for being a part of it. Yes, we're gonna continue on our Facebook Live part, but thank you all. Thank you again, Chief. Facebook group, everyone on Facebook, thank you for spending that few minutes here with us. Again, thank you to Chief Barbara Tripp, the interim fire chief over at Tampa Fire Department. Thank you for all they do, keeping us all safe and sound, and doing things that are running towards danger when many people run away from it. So now we're going to swing here real quick and get back to our original group. Again, we have some of our young people here tonight from our Teens Leading Change group, who are going to talk about our topic tonight, which Chief Tripp and her sitting down with us fell right in line with what our topic was for us tonight, and it's teen influencers. So we're going to kind of rewind a little bit, and I'm going to swing to our group and let our young people and Coach Hayden and the rest of our group introduce themselves. So we'll start with Camilla, who's on with us for her first time from Forest Hill. She's shaking your head, Facebook family. She's a little bit nervous, but she's going to do an awesome job tonight. Camilla, introduce yourself, your name, age, and your school to our group.
My name is Camilla DePaz. I'm 13 and I go to Adams Middle School.
Thank you. Welcome, Camilla. Dwayne, you up, my boy, the superstar of the group. Been away from us for a few weeks, but we're glad to have you back.
Yeah, my name is Dwayne Foley. I'm 15 years old and I go to Wesley Chapel High School.
Wesley Chapel High School. We appreciate you. Dwayne is representing Spring Hill Community Center. Coach Hayden representing the one and only Forest Hills, fresh off of summer camp all day, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm Coach Hayden. I work over here at Forest Hills, and I've been here for, I think this is my 6th summer here. So
6th summer.
Yeah.
Wow, you must have started working at like 12 because you still look like you're a teenager.
I came fresh out of high school working.
Absolutely. Young energy. I wish I still had some of it. So we're going to jump right into it real quick with our young people. And we talk about, again, shared a few moments with Chief Tripp, and she gave some great insight on the fire department and how she got started in her career path and some of the things that influenced her. So we're going to jump right into it. And Dwayne, I'm going to start with you first, my guy. What do you think kind of influences teens the most? Like, what is it? Music? Is it movies? Is it video games? Is it reality TV, celebrities? Like, what do you think is influencing teens the most these days?
Anything can influence teens, but honestly, I think celebrities, TV shows, and video games. Because, like, you know how celebrities are on TV and they are like advertising this brand, and then these teens nowadays, they like want to have like that exact same body as this one celebrity, or they want to be just as athletic as this athlete, or they want to be as famous as this singer or rapper. So I feel like celebrities have a bigger influence more than any of the things that you listed.
Yeah, and I think you're right, man. Piggybacking off what you're saying, you can watch a celebrity if it's in a commercial or on an IG page or Snap or TikTok, and whatever brand they're wearing, right? If it's Gucci, if it's Nike, whatever the brand is, if that person is hot at the time, everybody wants to run out and grab that brand, right? If you see these guys, someone in a Gucci belt, everybody's running to the store to get a Gucci belt. If you're seeing them wearing the Yeezys, right? The Yeezys they used to be $400. I don't know how much they are in there now. I've never had a pair, but when the Yeezys come out, I mean, they're gone, sold out in an hour because people want to wear what celebrities are wearing. So I think you're on track with that, man. There is definitely a huge influence coming from celebrities. So we appreciate that answer. Camilla, coming your way, same question. What do you think influences teens most, or maybe what influences you the most?
Things that influence teens the most, probably like social media, because multiple celebrities are on like TikTok. And when you see like a celebrity like into like painting or something, you would want to get into it too.
Okay, right. Great answer. Social media, and I never. We talked about social media a lot here on Teen Talk, but I didn't even think about social media. That probably is the biggest influencer right now, because it's the 24/7 news cycle, right? You know what celebrities are eating in their homes from a million miles away, and you can see what they're having for dinner. And if you follow LeBron James, tonight's Tuesday, him and his family are probably having Taco Tuesday, and it's probably on Instagram or TikTok, right? I see Dwayne shaking his head, right? So we have instant access to these celebrities. So you're right. Social media is definitely one of those things. Great answer, Camilla. Coach Hayden, what do you think? I know you work with a lot of teens over there at Forest Hills. What do you think influences teens the most? I know there's many things that influence, but what do you think are some of the things that influence teens the most?
I have to agree with Camilla, social media, because they're on it 24/7, and the people that are on, like the celebrities on social media, they're called influencers. So
Yep. Makes sense, right? Only makes sense that they're influencers, so they're doing the influencing. Absolutely. And I think all of you all touched on some great points. But I also think, like I said, some of the examples, the movies, definitely the music. I know the music, a lot of the music that some of it's over my head, but the music that teens are listening to now plays heavily on the way they act, the way they dress, the way they interact with each other, just the way they move in general. So it's definitely music, movies. I think all of that stuff kind of influences what teens got going on. So great answers. I appreciate it all. And Camilla, I'm going to start with you for this next one. Give us that one person or that one thing that you think influences teens in a positive way right now. So one person or one thing that you can think, and if it's multiple things, give us multiple things, but some of the things specifically that influences teens in a positive way.
I don't I'm not really sure in a positive way, but mainly if you're with family half the time, they should be the one influencing you to do good things in life.
Okay, so your family, right? The people you look up to in your circle. Okay, that's a real genuine answer. Dwayne, coming your way again. Give us something or someone. Doesn't have to be a celebrity who you think is really, really pushing the needle right now for teens. That's really got things moving in a positive way. We'll start with the positive first, and then we're going to circle back to maybe some of the negatives.
I don't know really much celebrities that's doing stuff doing anything influencing teens, but I know there's people out there probably activists what's going on around the world and trying to get people out there to try to support in any way they can. And yeah, celebrities can have a positive and a negative impact depending on how they are, but at this moment there's not really much celebrities right now that's making a huge influence.
Okay. Coach Hayden, coming your way. I know you are of the younger generation, a lot younger than my generation. Someone or something, it doesn't have to be a person, but something that's out there right now that's influencing our teens in a positive way. That's pushing them to be better, do better, act better, along those lines.
So maybe the coaches, oh, sorry, the light is on like a sensor. If I don't move, it turns off. But would probably have to be the coaches that they're around or their teachers or their parents.
Right. And I'm going to piggyback off your answer. Right. I think when I think about who's really influencing teens to be positive, is a lot of the everyday role models. Right. So when you talk about coaches in rec centers, when you talk about sports coaches, when you talk about mentors and community activists and community leaders, those are the people who are influencing the teens in a positive way. And then you look, like Camilla said, inside that circle, right? Most teens are looking towards mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, maybe an older sibling, a cousin, people in their family circle who are influencing in a positive way. But there are some celebrities, there are some activists who are influencing teens in a positive way. I know Chief Tripp mentioned President Obama, but people like Michelle Obama who are focused on kids and youth and about nutrition and health and fighting childhood obesity. And then you look at some of the young and up and coming people who are pushing positivity, who are pushing unity, and who are really influencing teens, and not just the teens, but young adults, to be positive, do positive things, and be the example. So definitely appreciate all those answers. So we'll circle back around, and I'm gonna start with you with this one, Dwayne. And this one might be a little easier because you see the negative more than you see the positive. Give us something or someone who is negatively influencing teens, and maybe can push a teen to go right instead of left, or vice versa.
Uh, to be honest, I hate to say this, but it's honestly the rappers nowadays because like they're not doing anything that's like impactful to teens. They're rather just rapping about the same stuff that teens are not about that are not about that life. They're rather like pushing them into the negative side rather than like spreading a message through their music.
Okay. And I want to touch on that a little bit, because you look at a guy. I'm actually a fan of Kodak Black, right? I like his music, but I know he goes left a lot. He's in the news a lot for a lot of negative things, and he's been arrested a couple times. And that kind of stuff is what it is. But then when you look at some of the stuff he also does on the other side, where he does community service and donates money and does all that kind of stuff, do you feel like the music and the behavior outweighs some of the good, or you think it kind of balances it out? Because you mentioned rappers specifically.
It can balance out because like they could rap about that, but at the same time, like behind all those lyrics and stuff, they could be like donating money to to their uh their childhood home and stuff like that, to their parents, to their community,
Right.
But honestly, it could just balance out.
Okay, good. That's a good point, because like you said, a lot of the rappers don't really live the lifestyle that they rap about, right? They really are in the community, and supporting little league teams and purchasing toys for Christmas and turkeys for Thanksgiving and backpacks for kids to have to go to back to school with. So you're right. I think it does balance it out, and it's kind of crazy because a lot of times, and this is a societal thing, you rarely hear about the good things that people do, but if they get arrested, get a DUI, something happens negatively, it's on the front page, it's on social media, it's in the 24/7 news cycle. And that's kind of how it happens. But that's a great point, when you mentioned the rappers and then balancing it out. So I appreciate that answer. Camilla, coming your way, something or someone who negatively influences teens these days.
People that negatively influence teens have to be like their own friends or the people they hang out with,
Okay.
because they usually get them to do things that are like bad, because nowadays teens have been getting arrested for doing things that like are illegal, and then like their friends follow along with them.
Okay, so just people being followers. So I'm gonna stay with you right here, real quick, Camilla. What's your take on like the video games, the Fortnites, the Call of Duties, the games who have the blood and guts and the shoot 'em up games? How do you feel about those games? Do you feel like they negative, positive? Kids can figure out that it's just a game. How do you feel about how that influences you guys?
I mean, I've only ever played like Fortnite, but like with like a kid that was like 7 years old. But it's not bad, but at the same time, like it's like addicting, and like they just don't stop after like they like it.
Right. Sometimes it can become a distraction, right? You can forget about homework and school and studying and whatever sport you're playing because you just got to get one last game in Fortnite, right? One last mission on Call of Duty. So I get it. Dwayne, swing your way with that one again, man. What do you think about some of the video games, the Fortnites, the Call of Duties, I can't even GTA, all the games that are out there right now that kids are spending a lot of time playing.
Honestly, I say it depends on the mindset of the kid, because like there be some kids out there that could be like mentally unstable, and they can be getting bullied, but at the same time they know that there's a difference, the difference between reality and the game. Because if they're playing like GTA, they're not just going to go up to their mom and ask them, can I get a gun, and like get it. So they know that there's a difference, but most importantly, they it all depends on the mindset of the kid, because some of them could be mentally unstable about it, and then they can like not have a gun, but they can use the violence against other people.
Absolutely, man. You just touched on some things I didn't even think about, man. So I appreciate that. Coach Hayden, give us some of the things, something or something out there that is negatively influencing some of the teams you work with, or just teams in general.
I feel like social media, like, and the rappers, they kind of desensitize like the teens when it comes to certain things. Like it kind of makes them feel like they're untouchable in a way, just because these people can do it and nothing really happens to them, that they can also do the same. And that's not always the case.
That's a great point, because you see a lot of celebrities, right? It almost seems like they live a life with zero consequences, right? Like whatever is going on, they always find their way out of the trouble they get into. Everything is always all good, and us here, we can't afford to make those mistakes because there are sometimes severe consequences for us. So it's difficult to watch like that kind of stuff happening, to understand that, a lot of that is not reality. Those guys are not living that lifestyle. And if they are, they are able to maneuver around, whether it's the legal system or move around their communities and not suffer some of the same consequences that we do. So it's important for teens to understand that is what's really reality and what's not. And I think that's really important. So I'm going to swing back again. I'll start with you, Camilla, for this one. And I'm interested to hear the answer for this one because it will give us a little insight on you all. And the question to you, Camilla, is, Dwayne, I want you to listen to this question too. Do you consider yourself a positive influence on your peers? If so, why? If not, why not? Hopefully the answer is yes.
Unfortunately, the answer is no.
Okay, share a little bit with us.
I mean, I don't really know, but like I don't think people should like look up to me in a way, because I've also haven't been like the best in life. So
okay, that's a very transparent answer. I appreciate that honesty. Coach Hayden, I'm going to come your way real quick because you know Camilla much more than I do. Share a little bit about what she said, because I'm sure she's probably being a little harsh on herself. So share a little bit about Camilla and if she is that positive influencer in her group.
I think she is. She's pretty quiet into herself. It doesn't seem like she would want to start any drama with anyone.
Yes. Okay. I figured. And I'll step out on a limb, Camilla, and say that you're on with us tonight and you are positively influencing teens as we speak because you are sharing your thoughts. You just had a really transparent moment, so you definitely are being a positive influence. You're doing it right now, and you don't even know it. And I'm sure that there's many instances where you're doing it and you don't even know it. So don't sell yourself short. I'm pretty sure you are a very positive influence, and you may not even know it. People may be looking up to you, and you don't even know they're watching you. So definitely want to give you that little bit of advice, Dwayne. I know you disappeared on my camera, but I know you're listening and watching. Hopefully you were preparing for the question. And I know the answer to this one is yes, but I want to hear the why. I know you're a positive influence in your teams and your circle, but just tell us why. What makes you that positive influence?
So yeah, I'm a positive influence, but people think I'm the last person to be that positive influence because I had some friends that like tried taking their life and I convinced them not to and stuff like that. So
Wow.
like people usually look at me as the last person to try to like do all that inspirational sentimental stuff. So like helping those friends, like they like I'm like the first person they look up to for advice now, ever since I helped my friend.
Absolutely. That's strong, man. That's strong. I knew the answer was going to be good, but I didn't know it was that good, man. And that's definitely a positive thing, man. Keeping your friend out of danger, being that ear to listen, that shoulder to lean on. I'm sure, man. I'm sure your friend is very appreciative of that. Um, Coach Hayden, I'm not going to ask you if you're a positive influencer because I know that you do that. So I'll ask you. I'll switch it up a little bit and ask you. What does a positive influencer, like as a teen, what does that look like? What kind of characteristics do they have? Like what type of teen is a positive influence? How do they carry themselves?
Um, Someone that I'm just trying to think. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart.
It's been
But
a long day. I know you've been at summer camp all day, so I'm sure
yeah,
you.
someone that a kid can go to in a time of need, or someone that's always, in the right places. You're not always having to redirect them in any kind of way. One that is kind of like responsible.
Absolutely, all good characteristics. Responsible, accountable. Like you said, always drama free for the most part. So definitely, I think you all have really, really, really shared some good thoughts, and I appreciate it. Camilla, someone on Facebook wants to know: are you related to an Anna or Anna Samantha? No, okay. They thought that they know you. They knew your family, and okay, no. No, Coach Johnny, she's not related to Anna. Why are you all laughing? She's not telling me the truth, Hayden? She's not telling me the truth.
She is. I just thought it was funny because it was a little random.
It was. It's actually Coach Johnny from Highland Pines who
Okay.
works in Parks and Rec. So he thought that he recognized you. Um, he thought that he recognized you and you related to someone else he knows in Parks and Rec. So now, Coach Johnny, she's not related to Anna or Samantha, but she is from Forest Hill. So we appreciate that. And I appreciate again, Dwayne, that moment of transparency, talking about your friend and your friend's struggle and helping them through it. And Camilla, I appreciate your transparency and honesty and not thinking that you were an influencer and talking about you maybe not being as positive as you should have been all the time. But like I said, you're doing it now. You're being a positive influence right now for a lot of young people and pushing other people to be better. So as we close here tonight, you all have been wonderful. I'm really enjoying this conversation. Chief Tripp and the Cyrus Green crew actually got us started here. But as we close out, I want to ask the same question that I asked to Chief Tripp. It's one of our questions here tonight. And I'll start with you, Dwayne. Give us a non-relative, right? So someone who's not related to you, who has positively impacted your life so far. Like someone who's not related, but who's been a positive influence, who you've looked up to and who's been a positive influence in your life.
That's hard. Uh, does it have to be like huge, like a
No,
huge?
no, no. It can be anybody you think of, or anything you think of.
I feel like I feel like you've been a positive influence for sure because like I actually enjoy this like Facebook talk and stuff. With
Absolutely.
Coach Crystal, Miss Crystal, like she's just my neighbor right now. She's my neighbor. She lives across the street. She's been a positive influence. Like I feel like this group right here has been really positive.
Oh, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. That just warmed my heart, brother. Salute, man. I definitely salute you. You've been a positive influence on me too, man, and I love it every other Tuesday. Camilla, coming your way too. Someone or something non-relative, right? Not Anna or Samantha, who Coach Johnny thinks that you're related to, is been a positive influence in your life thus far.
Um, right now I haven't been going to the rec and seeing Coach Mike, but like beforehand, before COVID, I used to go like every day since like elementary school.
Mhm.
And I'll have to say Coach Mike because he has me like he like influences me to like go on the Zoom. But I'm pretty nervous about coming on Zoom. But my mom is like telling me to like get out of my shell. So that
And if I can share a little bit about your first stint with us here on Zoom, you've done an awesome job. Like if you hadn't told me you were nervous, I would never know you were nervous because you've been actually doing a great job. So kudos to you and kudos to your mom for pushing you
thank you.
and influencing you and encouraging you to open up and get out of your shell. So we appreciate you coming on and you've done an awesome job. Believe me when I tell you have. Coach Hayden, coming your way. You can't use your mom because your mom always watches every other Tuesday. So we know your mom's a positive influence, but someone who's a non-relative who's been an influence on you, Coach Hayden.
A non-relative that's
Non-relative.
been influence would have
Mhm.
to be my best friends. They encourage me to like push harder when it comes to like creating and being the best person that I can be. We kind of always push each other to be better than who we are.
Okay, so your best friends have been your support system, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's many people I can think of. I think most of the coaches that I've had from the West Tampa Spartans Little League, Boys and Girls Club, all the way up through high school. Coach Harold Hart, who is one of the founding members of our TLC committee and this Teens Leading Change program has always been a positive influence. There's many people I can think of, too many people to name. So there's a lot of people out there, a lot of coaches, sports coaches, rec center coaches, Boys and Girls Club coaches have all been positive influences in my life. So I definitely want to shout all of them out. I want to pivot a little bit to some of the Facebook stuff. We've got a bunch of people watching. We got a young man, Christian, who I know personally. He was one of my football players for the Junior Buccaneers. He said, I feel like I'm a positive influence on other people around me. I think it's pretty easy for me to fit in and be a cool person. And I'll say that ditto for Christian. I can vouch for him. He's always been that young man, a leader on the football field. I'm sure a leader in the classroom at school. So I know that he's been that person. Coach Hayden, you know who said hi, right? So say hi to her. Coach Hayden's mom watches every episode. So Coach Hayden, say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Camilla and Dwayne, we've got a bunch of people saying awesome job, Camilla. There are people who are sending the heart, loving you all's conversation. Coach Johnny said, great job. Coach Johnny from Holland Pine. Kareem Collins is watching from Fair Oaks. He said, great job. We've got a bunch of people watching here that said that you all have done an excellent job in sharing your thoughts and everything. So again, I want to thank you all. Thank everyone who is watching. Camilla, kudos, shout out. You knocked it out of the park tonight. I can't wait for you to come back. Now that you got the first one out of the way, you're going to be like Dwayne. You're going to be a veteran in the Teen Talk game. Dwayne, I'm so glad you're back, brother. Gone for a couple weeks, man, but I'm glad to see you. I appreciate those strong words, man. And you've been an influence on me too, brother. Coach Hayden, thank you as always for being our young adult voice of reason, keeping us even here on this team talking. And again, thank you to everyone who's watching us live on Facebook. I see Coach Carlos who's watching us from Jackson Heights. What's up, Coach Carlos, the major Buccaneer fan? He's over there at the Yet Center working tonight for Stay and Play. Just want to plug in our Stay and Play program right now. We have 10 sites in the city who are open until 10, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. For our teens. We've got sports leagues going on. We've got video games. We've got basketball, flag football. We've got all kind of activities going on for our teens. There are 10 sites all over the city Forest Hills is one, where Camilla and Coach Hayden are. Spring Hill, where Dwayne represents, is a Stay and Play site. I know Forest Hills has some evening and night activities going over there a couple of times a week. The NFL Yet Center in Jackson Heights is definitely one. If you have information or you want information about our Teens Leading Change program, you can contact us at teensleadingchange@tampagov.net. Again, Teens Leading Change @tampagov.net. If you want information about our Stay and Play sites, parents, if you have a teenager who needs something to do to engage in at nights, we have some safe, supervised spaces for them to come hang out, free food, games. We have a good time, and staff and the community engages with our teenagers. So with that, thank everyone for watching us here on Facebook. Again, much love to Camilla and Dwayne and Coach Hayden for being here with us tonight. We'll be back again in 2 weeks for another engaging episode of Teen Talk Tuesday with TLC. So we'll see everyone in a couple weeks. Stay safe. Wear your mask if you haven't been vaccinated. If you're looking for vaccinations, there are opportunities all across the city and county. TampaGov.net, HillsboroCounty.org. You can find your local vaccination spots. Otherwise, we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Camilla, Dwayne, Coach Hayden, we appreciate that. Thank you all. We'll see you all again in 2 weeks. Great job, Camilla. Great job, Dwayne.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dwayne, see you next time, my guy.
All right, I see you.
Yes, sir. All right.